are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I'm back, the migraine's gone, I've recovered, had a good night's sleep. Now just looking into some alternative countries to live, because my wife is getting her Australian passport next week. She has to go in, she has to pretend she knows some shit about Australia, and then they'll give her an Australian passport. And that means we can now travel to other countries without it being an absolute fucking nightmare. So we've been looking at other countries to live in, just like cost of living, rent and all that sort of shit. And it turns out every other country in the world is a fucking nightmare. There's just trade-offs everywhere. Like if you go somewhere where there's like cheap rent, you're going to get stabbed at night. If you go somewhere where you can earn money, you're going to pay expensive rent. If you go somewhere where there's no jobs, you're going to get stabbed at night. A lot of the places you're going to get stabbed at night, actually. The US, you'll get shot at night, maybe stabbed as well, but definitely shot. Actually, apparently an open micer in New York was catching the subway back to wherever the fuck he was going, and some cunt was holding him up for his phone with a box cutter and then slashed him across the face. One of my comedian friends was sharing his GoFundMe. It sounded fucking brutal. So yeah, New York's like all three. There's jobs, expensive rent, and you'll get stabbed. Everywhere seems to have gone up significantly. We looked at Mexico, Peru, Colombia, Spain, the US, Canada. Nowhere's like insanely cheap anymore. Maybe I'll go to Russia. Maybe there's like some discounts there because of the threat of nuclear war. After having a little fucking YouTube and a look around at these other countries, it's almost like Australia is probably the best country to be living in at the moment. But the thing is, I can always live here. I don't want to fucking live here the whole time. I'd like to take a year or two, just go somewhere fucking else. Somewhere different. Learn another language or just an accent. Learn Canadian accent. Learn American accents. Don't want to live in India for another year either. That'd be too much. Maybe Bali. Bali's a fucking sick place. The thing is, we've got 2 kids as well, so they've got to be doing their shit. We got to be doing our shit. It's going to be a good reconnaissance mission at the end of the year. Fucking Canada, US, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Mexico. We'll find a place to live there. One of those places will end up being the fucking go, I betcha. I just want to live somewhere else for a while, okay? That's it. Anyway, let's get to this week's Boyle Breaks History. So, this week I did a lot of listening to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and I watched a documentary on RFK, the original. Man, I can't believe Americans fucking let those scumbags kill the Kennedys. Fucking RFK and JFK. I can't believe fucking they got away with it. Also Martin Luther King, fucking Malcolm X. I think Huey Newton as well. Wasn't he the Black Panthers guy? He got fucking assassinated. I truly believe that if JFK or RFK had fucking managed to last a bit longer, things might have been different. They probably would have been different because you don't get assassinated when you're fucking towing the party line, do ya? Go watch that RFK documentary on fucking Netflix. It's pretty fucking good. So yeah, I've spent the last week or two getting into the fucking Kennedy vibe. I was cruising down the street the other day with fucking JFK's peace speech just blaring out the window. Just cruising, sunny day, hat on, fucking sunglasses on with fucking peace. We need peace. But that peace speech, JFK's peace speech, which you should go listen to, just fucking Google it or YouTube it. It's a very good speech. But he talks about the Battle of Stalingrad and how we should have empathy for the Russian people as well. And I was like, why Stalingrad? So that's what we're doing this week. The Battle of Stalingrad in World War II, which I knew was a bad one, but I didn't know how bad. So this is one of the bloodiest battles in fucking world history. They say the worst place to have been in the 20th century is Stalingrad or fucking in line to Auschwitz. Either one pretty bad. So the Battle of Stalingrad was between the Germans and the Russians. The Germans are like, fucking, let's move into Russia. Who the fuck? Who would think that? You've got to be fucking insane to think that. But I suppose they were fucking being fucking directed by an insane man. Hitler was in charge. He'd fired most of his generals and he was calling the shots. So he's like, let's go into Stalingrad. And Stalin, another fucking gem of a human, he was like, this city has my name, Stalin, Stalingrad. He's like, yeah, we'll be defending this to the death. Not 1 inch will be lost. So the Germans fucking smashed in. I think it was August 1942, and they came in fucking blasting, and they started getting some serious fucking territory. And then the Russians, as they do, just started putting Russian people in front of the gunfire. That's how the Russians fight. They just block the bullets with human beings. And you're like, surely at some point, they're going to run out of Russian people that are willing to stand in front of bullets. And so far in history, that's never happened. You've always been able to find another Russian who's willing to stand in front of bullets. So for the first part of the battle, Germany was just fucking dominating. And then I think it was like 3 or 4 months into the battle, the Russians came up with Operation Uranus. It's an encirclement. They were encircling the fucking German army. Beautifully named fucking operation. We're going to encircle them like a fucking carrot encircles Uranus. Operation Uranus. So they started fucking winning battles along the flanks to encircle them. Then the Germans were like, we need some backup. And they brought in the Romanians and the fucking Italians. And the Italians are like, what am I doing here? I just want a pizza. Where's the pizza? So the Romanians and the Italians were fucking useless. They just got fucking mowed down. And then winter hit. So the winter in Stalingrad is fucking brutal. And the Russians had better uniforms for the winter. They had furry hats. They had some lining on the inside of their fucking uniforms. The Germans just had nothing. So the Germans are encircled now. In the middle of winter, they're cut off from food, they're cut off from ammunition, they're just getting fucked up now, and they're getting instructions from Hitler, just going, we're going to fight till the death. And quite a few Germans were like, look, all the Jew hate stuff, I was into it. I was really into it. I was into it enough to come to Stalingrad and freeze my nuts off while I'm getting shot at by fucking Russians. That's how much I love the fucking Jew hate stuff. But even that isn't enough for me to continue. So the German soldiers started surrendering. They were basically all dying anyway. So it was just an absolute bloodbath. The Battle of Stalingrad lasted only 6 months, and they believe 2 million people died. Russians took the brunt of it, but plenty of Germans, civilians, fucking dogs, cats, they probably weren't listed in the casualties, but plenty of dogs and cats got fucked up. 2 million in 6 months. Do you want to know what the math on that is? Let's do 30 days times 6 is 180 days. All right? 2 million. Oops, I did 200 million. 2 million divided by 180. Oh no. Fuck. It's 11, 11, 11. Oh my God. Do you know how many fucking prayers I'm going to have to say now? Oh. It's reoccurring 11 to infinity. Oh my God. I don't know if you fucking know. If you're a follower of this podcast, you know. If I see 1111, I have to say a prayer, like a family prayer, protect my family and shit. It's just like a mental illness I have. And now I've just seen, fucking hell, this is going to be a lot of prayer. Anyway, my point is that's 11,111 people per day dead for 180 days. That's fucking insane. Just in this area. That's fucking wild. Anyway, I'm going to have to fucking go do a lot of prayers now. I suppose I have to pray infinitely if it's reoccurring 11, but I'll just stop. Fucking how many am I going to have to do? Oh my God, fucking hell. I didn't need that, but I'll do it. Anyway, that's the Battle of Stalingrad. I hope you learned something. You probably need to fucking look into it a bit further. I don't think I gave you that much, but that's the fucking nuts and bolts of it. Anyway, if you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around, and I'll see you the fuck later.